next up, another fireside chat on the importance of customer engagement. Delighted to welcome my guest, that's Peter Stockhammer, Managing Director at Generali Engagement Solutions. Hi Peter, great to speak to you again.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be here.
Great to see you. Well, we've got a lot to get through over the next few minutes because I know how passionate you are about customer engagement and customer experience. We've spoken about it before, so delighted to do so again. So let's look at some of those key strategies, if we can, that you folks there have used to engage customers and really build those lasting relationships. What sort of strategies have you employed?
So let me start. The starting point is when we looked at the life segment. When you have insurance customers who are purchasing a life proposition, usually an annuity plan, you have a long duration of this, going to 65 or even older for the retirement age to get an annuity. The engagement is not so high nowadays because people signing up for this policy, getting the policy issue, and then the premium is automatically deducted by the bank account. So there's not so much interaction beside the sales advisors and less engagement within the policy because, as mentioned, either you're passing away, then you have no engagement anymore, then they're your relatives, or you're surviving and you're getting your annuity. So therefore we said, how can we get strong and closer to the customer, have a more ongoing communication and engagement? That's why we started with the Vitality program, where we're simply driving engagement on a regular basis, weekly now, with our customers. And this was the idea, to get a closer relationship with the customers.
Now, with any idea, strategy, or proposal to deal with a customer and help a customer, how do you go about measuring if it has been a success? Because it's all well and good bringing in a new strategy without understanding the success of it. How do you go about finding out whether it's really benefiting customers?
So there are plenty of ways. Obviously, we have a regular communication, so we're getting immediate feedback from the customer. And of course, we're measuring KPIs, so meaning how many members using the program, what they are doing with the program, with all the benefits that we're having, and there we're seeing an extremely high engagement. And for that, we can then see an engagement. To give you a short example, one of our partners is Expedia, where people, if they're engaging in the program, making status, can enjoy a trip with discounted via Expedia, with the online portal. And now we're knowing that each our free customers, and it is calculated 24/7, are booking via our program a travel at Expedia.
Yeah, that's an excellent example. So those are some of the good ways of actually measuring it and the KPIs you're looking for. Let's turn things round. From your experience, of which there is plenty, what do you find are some of the big challenges and obstacles companies face when they're trying to enhance customer engagement?
Yeah. So when we started this journey and this was the original start point, then Generali is more than 190 years old. When we started this journey in 2015, we were 184. And for us was simply what I'm often calling how to bring a 184-year-old insurer in the digital area. Because people are now used to communicate. You're seeing that how many people are using WhatsApp. I'm always saying smartphones are not used anymore to take phone calls. So you're engaging with different plenty of apps in a way, either when you're seeing WhatsApp, the people typing. So the first barrier that you have to overcome, you have a legacy system, you have a historical heritage, how propositions are dealt in the insurance product. So you have to bring the people on board to get their buy-in to working on a new kind of proposition, meaning in a complete new way which you're setting up. And this requires a different thinking. That we need, and therefore potentially need something from outside. So one of my examples is when we early start as the insurance industry doing. We said there are digital tools available. So for example, let's bring customers that they can raise a claim via a portal, via an app. What you often see is there's then a free text field because we're copying in or transferring what we already have on paper. But if you, for example, purchasing something online, you never see a text field free. So the customer journey is completely different. I think this is the one of the first obstacles that you have overcome to have a different view on the customer journey.
Because in the days before the digital era, the key thing was always price, I suppose, or what the call center sounded like. For you, the competition now in customer experience. That's a huge selling point, whether it's using gamification or other ideas like that. Do you feel that's a huge part of the competition in the industry now, to have the best customer experience?
Definitely, definitely. So gamification is a word that you mentioned that is crucial, yeah, because we are all, even if we are adults, we still want to be kids and play. This is always appealing for things. So that is crucial. Yeah? And it's a massive driver to have gamification. And for sure, when we talk about competition, we have to challenge ourselves. We knowing that our customers not only purchasing insurance product, they purchasing permanently, meaning Amazon, whatever exists on online platforms or other providers, and then are used to other customer journey. And they for sure challenge us and say, look how smooth it's going if I'm doing an online purchase.
Do you feel customers are even more discerning now than ever? Because as you say, they are used to world-class experiences online. And so just because it's buying or updating insurance, it can't fall below those standards.
Exactly. For sure, that is always a challenge for us. But as I said, we have to always take care that our customers, regular customers on a daily basis, with plenty of shops providers that they're using. And therefore, for me, it's also crucial to have a look outside the insurance industry. And what I'm asking always the people, and what I'm doing myself, is saying, I'm a customer the entire day. Yeah? Because if I'm, for example, leaving my apartment, going to work, then potentially grabbing a coffee, and then using public transport, to buy a ticket, how the public transport is using is a customer thing. To go into a store, purchasing something, where seeing where technology is used. I'm also a customer, and I'm doing from early morning till evening, and also potentially doing my online shopping. And there we're always looking how I'm treating as a customer, and what find I good and what think it's not so good.
From your experience though, which of the different customer-centric ideas that you've been working through are you most proud? Which ones are the ones you feel have really made a difference for customers?
For us, really made a difference, this component that we have in the Vitality program, which is called Active Rewards. So you're getting a weekly physical activity goal, and if you're reaching it, you get a notification. So as a conference, you reached your goal, there's a reward waiting for you. And then you're going on the app and spinning a wheel, some kind of wheel of fortune, which gives you randomly one of 12 prizes that you can win. And we're getting here excellent feedback from the customers. We're seeing how many people using it, but we're getting some feedback from customers that we have done and also shared it on public customer surveys, not only our customer base, where we're getting some feedback like, it's not what I'm typically expecting from an insurance company, a really new approach, appealing, or others saying, my daughter, my son always challenge me, have you already reached your weekly goal? Because I would like to spin the wheel. So this gamification thing is for sure a driver.
From your experience though, for an organisation that is looking to step up their customer experience game, if you like, they're looking to completely overhaul how they go about doing things, what would your advice be? How do you go about doing that, of really trying to change how you approach your approach to customers?
What you have to keep in mind, for sure it's a challenge. On the other hand, it's an honor that you're exploring a new field. And for me, it's crucial that you build up a team that is dedicated, that there is a good mixture. Because on one hand, we are still an insurance company, and we should not give this up. So we combining people who have a deep insurance experience and know-how, and on the other hand, bringing new people in that worked on this digital space and bringing in a complete different view on customer journey. They are not biased by the experience. And if you're bringing a good mixture out of this team, then it's the most important thing that you have to do from my experience.
Because if you're wanting to add new features, new ideas, I guess that involves partnering with different technology companies who might be able to offer you something a little bit different. How do you go about selecting those partners?
Well, what we are doing for sure, as you said, we're bringing in new ideas and coming from new startups, partners. What we're simply doing is we're screening a lot of that, then testing it internally and seeing, is this something that can match and can bring us further, one step further to the program? Because what I'm always saying is one challenge that we all have is, even if we are super proud of what we have delivered, that doesn't mean that the others not preparing something, let's call it in their kitchen, and overtaking you. So therefore, you have to always challenge yourself and bring the next boundary. Therefore, it's crucial to screen. And a good approach that I read once in a business magazine was simply on a business angel who's saying, I'm screening 750 companies per year. And finally, I'm making a short list, then I'll have discussions with them looking at the business case. And finally, I'm investing at the end of the year potentially in 2 to 3 of them, with hoping then one is bringing the result. So using this, I'm saying when people and companies approaching us, we always have a look at it and not denying it on first hand, and simply looking at it, even if we know we can only invest in a few of them, not only money, also time and capacity to make a partnership with that, but it's worth to really screen this field and coming to the funnel where then have this partner that brings you to the next level.
AI has been a huge thread of what we've been talking about here today at InsurTech Live. How do you feel AI is going to play a role in the future of the customer experience?
Well, like every new technology, it's something which has a hype. And then after this hype is gone, coming to a level where you see the use cases. So for sure, we're observing this, monitoring this, and looking at it already. And for sure, there will be an advantage. I cannot tell you at that stage what we are doing with that. But for sure, AI is something when I'm looking at customer service, how we deal with customers could for sure help us and bring us benefits. And for sure, what existing with all these programs, we're considering something to make a new customer experience also on the app.
Do you feel it's still very, very important, though, to be very discerning with which bits of AI get it implemented into your solutions and your customer experiences? Because if the AI gets it wrong, that can have a very negative impact on the customer. Is that something you're very concerned about?
I think that's in principle. Yeah, it's crucial that you're delivering a good quality. Yeah? And especially on insurance, they are expected, because insurance is simply something where I said you have safety, you are reliable, therefore it's key. I think that's not only to AI, that's all related to all the things that we are doing.
Looking to the future, though, what do you think is going to be the future trends in customer engagement going forward in the insurance industry?
So what I'm expecting is even more seamless, less interaction with human beings, even if they're in the background and behind. So using this technology to making a smarter and more appealing customer experience. And I'm expecting much, much more in gamification.
Are you expecting further embedded insurance with different partners, and different customers in that way? Do you feel that's a strong line for the future?
Yes, for sure, this will happen definitely. When I'm looking overall at the financial industry, both is related to bank and insurers, we produced a lot in-house. That has opened for me in the last and changed in the last 10 years dramatically. Because in the past, there was, I think 99% was built in-house, no matter what it is. And when you're looking, for example, at the car industry, they were long before that, changing that. I came across, it was not Henry Ford, but it was the Ford Motor Company who said, if I would behave like an insurance company or a financial company, I need cars because finally I need leather for the seats. Yeah? And that is changing. And all these partners that we have in bringing us always a good input and challenging us.
Now, you've already spoken about the importance of data and getting to know customers. Do you feel there's a balance that has to be made about customers feeling we know too much about them? Is there a balance to be struck there?
I would say what is crucial is to have data privacy, yeah? And to giving the customer the control of the data. But all the market research that we having done, we saw two effects. So firstly, we saw a split between the people below and above 40. So above 40, we had more concerns on data privacy. The others simply saying, happy to share data if I'm getting a benefit out of it. But what is crucial, I know what is stored, I know what is done with my data, and I'm in control of this data. I think this is one crucial thing. And then people are willing to share data. And as I'm originally coming from the insurance industry, one experience that I've said, and this is also to data, sharing data is, my experience is always, if people are taking a risk by themselves, then they are less risk concerned. If they're exposed to a risk from someone else, they have more concerns. So when you're seeing what people are sharing on social media, it's potentially far too much. And if we would say you have to share this, we get some challenges. On the other hand, if you're taking one risk yourself and coming from the life insurance industry, you're seeing people who are smoking underestimate these risks. And yeah, I know it's not potentially so healthy, but risks that are mentioned by medical guys are not so crucial. I think this is the trade-off that you have to handle, to giving the customer the control of the data.
When it comes to the importance of apps through phones or wearable tech, do you think we're still scratching the surface of the potential that has for the insurance company to get closer to their customers and really understand their lives?
Yeah, for sure, we are here also challenged by other companies, and I'm meaning not our competitors. I would not say, as it was said in the past, people only using 2 to 3 apps, because when you're speaking to people, then they're saying, yeah, I have for weather an app, I'm streaming music, there's an app, and I'm using online purchase or whatever it is, and then I'm using a chat channel. But for sure, what we have to sort out as an insurance industry, what I'm seeing, to bring one solution, potentially we're using too many apps. That's what I'm seeing overall in the market. So there's an app for handling your portfolio. There's an app for, I don't know, working on a program. And then you have immediately 4 to 5 apps that is provided by an insurance company towards the customers. And I think what we should deliver is then one app with different features, but it should be then one company app.
And the last question I'll go into is, again, returning to the customer. We can get the data, we can interact with them that way. What value do you get of physically making sure customers are spoken to, get to test things, get a feel for the technology? Is there still real value in that?
Yeah, definitely. So all the interaction that we're having is valuable, what we're having with the customers, and also the information that we're getting. And with that, we can also provide benefit to the customers. So all the things that we are getting, for example, sharing data using the program and all the feedback that we're giving is also an exchange that we have on a regular basis with our partners. That how can we improve the quality for our customers based on the experience that we're getting from them directly.
Peter, I know it's a subject you're very passionate about personally, so really enjoyed your company again this afternoon, and thank you very much for joining us at InsurTech Live.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you very much indeed.